These are the top 5 business misconceptions no one talks about. Number 1, more customers equals more money. Everyone thinks it's more customers that drive more money, but it's the imbalance between demand and supply that actually drives price. There's a story of how Gary Vee was once at a convention of 600 people, and at the end of his workshop, he proposed that he would give a 1-hour slot on his calendar away to the biggest bidder. So everyone starts bidding, right? Because the true value of this 1 hour with Gary Vee is the connection with the most influential circle of people in marketing, sales, and a bunch of business industry. So everyone starts bidding, goes up to 1,000 very quickly, 10,000, 20,000, goes all the way up to 100,000. At the end, it's just 2 people going all the way 100,000, 110,000. Gary Vee finally stops and he says, guys, I'm gonna give both of you guys an hour of my time for $80,000 each. And he closes off the workshop with $160,000 in his pocket. And the value of this is that, he could have provided every single person in that conference an hour of his time, which would have taken months of his calendar away. It would have been impossible for him to price at $80,000. But because 2 people were so desperate to get an hour, to get an in with his inner circle, he was able to charge for $80,000. You don't need a crowd, you just need 2 people. The moment you have more demand than supply, that's when your price shoots all the way up. Number 2, lower prices equals more sales. People think that lowering your prices brings in more buyers, but luxury brands prove the opposite. Ever notice how a $2,000 handbag sells more than a $200 one? We attach value to price because our brain says the more expensive, the better it is. And even dropshippers know this. If you're ever looking at a product online, you'll see a bunch of entries that are lower priced than one, which is a bit more higher priced. And you end up attributing more value to the higher priced one, even though oftentimes it's the exact same product. People don't buy what's cheapest. People buy what makes them feel valued. Number 3, faster delivery equals happier customer. You think customers want speed? Not always. Look at Rolex. They have 18 months before you can actually buy a Rolex and actually get it on hand. But they could hire workers tomorrow to speedline this process to be 18 hours. But they don't do it because waiting builds desire. You don't watch a movie the day you hear about it. You watch the trailer, the teaser, look at the actors, the writers, directors, before you ever decide to spend a $10 ticket and 3 hours of your time. Fast is convenient, but slow is seductive. Number 4, sales is persuasion and negotiation. The salespeople that drive the most amount of revenue know exactly when to say no. I once told a client, hey, I think I'm not the right fit for you. And that opened up the door for us to have a conversation about what he wants and what I'm looking for, and if we're the right fit. And thankfully, we actually ended up creating some clarity, and we ended up signing a contract, a few months of work. Sales isn't about convincing and negotiating and tit for tat. It's about clarity, about what each of you guys want. When you're honest about who you can help, people start believing you when you say you actually can. The 5th biggest misconception, the quality product always wins. This can't be farther from the truth. Alex Hormozi says a story of how if a genie comes to you and asks you for one single wish, asking for the best hot dogs on the street would be a huge mistake. The better wish would be to place your hot dogs in front of a hungry crowd and you'll sell out every single time. And the reason for this is because you need to understand your customers' pain points. And when people are hungry, that's when people want to buy, not when people want an amazing product. Value beats perfection. It's not about who has the most quality product. It's about who provides to the pain points of the customer. Business isn't always about doing more. It's about understanding what the actual value is. Small shifts in perception is where the actual money hides. I hope this helped. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.